Good evening, everybody. It's Monday night, which means it's time to go wild. Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. We're also live across the world on hcr923fm.com/listen and via TuneIn. If you want to contact the show, do so via social media, Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW radio. We have email, radio@widneswild.co.uk. We have the phone 01928 835 291 and text 07716 672 874. Start your message with TTGW or messages charged at your standard network rate. I hope you're all ready because it's time to go wild. A very warm welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show. It's Cole with you between now and where are we? 8 o'clock. My brain's all in a frazzle because I've already been on air for an hour. And one of my two special guests is here already, armed and dangerous, is Andy Winchley. Hi, Andy.
Hey, evening, Cole. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad you could join us. It's been a busy time for you, hasn't it?
Well, straight from the office, straight in and stuck in traffic, which I think where our other guests might be.
But you've got a lot to tell us about regarding a lot of the charity stuff, haven't you?
Going through, I think, just a quick run through of the bits we've done, some events we've been involved with, and what we actually do, what a lot of people don't realise behind the scenes.
So we'll address that very shortly, but I think the first things first, let's go through the results from the weekend. Oh, and it was a busy one. Okay, a roundup of the results from around the leagues from the last week. Starting the Elite Ice Hockey League with Challenge Cup action from Tuesday. Glasgow Clan 2, Belfast Giants 1. In the Elite League on Wednesday, Guildford Flames 1, Sheffield Steelers 2. On Friday, Glasgow Clan 2, Fife Flyers 1. On Saturday, Belfast Giants 6, Coventry Blaze 5. Manchester Storm 3, Cardiff Devils 1, Nottingham Panthers 2, Milton Keynes Lightning 1, Sheffield Steelers 3, Guildford Flames 2, Fife Flyers 3, Glasgow Clan 2 after overtime. Moving to Sunday, Belfast Giants 8, Nottingham Panthers 5, Dundee Stars 4, Guildford Flames 5, Coventry Blaze 4, Manchester Storm 3 after a shootout. Milton Keynes Lightning 2, Glasgow Clan 4, Cardiff Devils 7, Sheffield Steelers 3. EIHA Women's Premier League action from Saturday. Sheffield Shadows 10, Bracknell Firebees 1. EIHA Under 15s North 3 action from Saturday. Blackburn 3, Nottingham 13. Widnes 5, Deeside 15. EIHA Under 13s action from North 3 on Sunday. Blackburn 12, Grimsby 0. NIHL Division 1 North Morley League action from Saturday. Billingham Stars 4, Solihull Barons 1. On Sunday, Whitley Warriors 12, Sutton Sting 6. Solihull Barons 8, Nottingham Lions 2. And finally, NIHL Division 2 North Laidler action from Saturday. Coventry NIHL Blaze 0, Bradford Bulldogs 7. On Sunday, Altrincham Aces 2, Coventry NIHL Blaze 6. And Widnes Wild 11, Dragons 4. We'll have more next week, so stay tuned to Time to Go Wild Radio. And after the game, I managed to catch up for a few interviews with people. Starting with the hat-trick hero of the night, Sean Dipnell.
I've caught up with hat-trick hero Sean Dipnell after the Wild were taking on the Dragons. Well, Sean, put that game into words, really.
Yeah, it was fun. I think we owed them a couple from the few years they've had our number, so it's nice to get a good win on the board.
I mean, first home game against the higher strength Dragons team after them returning from the Moral League division, and it's a very different strength Dragons team than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I mean, they still play the way they play, they're physical, they're fast, but yeah, I think we just had the number tonight for some reason.
I mean, other things came into play. I mean, you had a really good couple of shifts and just burying goals pretty quick at times.
Yeah, I think the third period had 5 shifts and 5 goals, and that kind of finished the game off for us nicely.
Actually, I thought it could have got quite feisty and a bit rough at times, but everything managed to calm down and continue playing hockey.
Yeah, thankfully. We don't want it to end like that, do we? So just play hockey and play hard, we love it.
So I haven't really caught up with you much during the season. I've let you have a bit of a long leash. How have you felt this season's been going?
Yeah, good. So obviously I didn't play at the beginning of the year because I was injured, but since I've been back I've enjoyed it.
You've not been looking out of place anyway.
Thank you. Take it.
It's, final, 7 or so games to the run out of the season, but still a couple of tough challenges with Telford and Sheffield still to play.
Yeah, we're looking for 7 wins, obviously. We've got a little bit of breathing room, but we don't let that get into our heads.
I mean, as it is, it's pretty much looking like we will be going to the playoffs. A bit of anticipation there, listener. But, it's going to be a lively affair again.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. It'll be good.
So anyway, thoughts on what we could be expecting from you for the just the last few games in the season?
Just keep trying to do what we do, make some nice passes and score some goals.
Well, I'll let you go and have a unwind and relax and get ready for next week.
Thank you.
A bit of a surprise interview. I managed to catch netminder Tom McDonald. Well, though tonight was a view from the bench, and give us a quick view from that perspective of tonight's game.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent game. I think we played with real tempo, intensity, and created some good scoring chances. I think D-side have lost a bit of what they used to offer, but I think we just took it to them throughout the game and were relentless.
I mean, last week as well, you got a good start and a really good game under your belt. A bit of a surprise, was it?
No, because we're trying to rotate a little bit more, and with Matt being away for a couple of Sundays, it's a good opportunity for, I guess, me to have a game. Enjoyed it. It's good to be out. It's more than a year since my last game, so I was a bit nervous actually, but 6 shots, 6 saves, so that's the best you can do.
Well, I mean, you didn't look out of place, you didn't look too nervous anyway, from my perspective. It's a tough challenge being in the goal, though, especially when you've not played much.
Yeah. I think it's like everything. If you don't play much, you don't get much confidence, and you don't build up momentum. So I did what I did, and did all right. And it was good for Baz to get out as well, and fortunately let one in. But it's hard when you've come up cold, so it's again a good chance to get a few goalies playing in that game. And I guess today with Luke as well, it's really good to see Luke. Luke hasn't had that many opportunities this season, and he came out, played really well, made some big saves. So I think he'll be happy with that.
And we've got that big run up now to the end of the season, and still keeping the run at the top of the table going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our ambition is to win all the remaining games, go with some real momentum into the playoffs.
Well, a couple of tough games coming up. I mean, you'll be taking part one way or another, be it in training, helping out, and or be it from the bench. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully get involved again. Depends on the availability of the other goalies and so on. But yeah, it should be great. And I think we're not worried about any teams. We're the best team in the league, and I think we're the ones who just got to go into games confident.
Well, thanks for joining. Let you unwind. Have a good week.
Thanks, Colin. See you.
And I managed to collar a man of very few goals, but when they come, they're very pretty. Our Bez Hughes. Thanks for joining us, Bez.
Yeah, you're welcome. Don't worry about it.
So you managed to get on the scoreboard the last couple of weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had a couple. Hopefully they keep rolling. I need them. Muffins, as Biz said.
But, I mean, you've been playing defence and you also play forward. I mean, how do you cope with the change in positions?
Well, for me, it's something I've done for years now, so it's all right. I don't mind doing it. I like getting the opportunity up forward when I get it. I like being able to contribute in both ways, so I enjoy it.
I mean, tonight's game could have got quite feisty at times. It got a little rough. A few quite fast, heavy hits coming in, but everyone kept their heads.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. That was something we said before the game, that if they get a bit dirty and they get a bit rough, keep our heads, stop the penalties, because we want to be on the the even-handed or the power play as much as possible and not killing penalties.
I mean, yeah, they did do pretty well on the penalties tonight, did Deeside, maximising their power plays. But I mean, in the end, it's a case of bodies on the ice and keep the goals going in.
Yeah, that's it. More goals, more goals, more goals. So that's all we want for the rest of the season. Keep the wins rolling and have lots of momentum into the playoffs and that game in Coventry against the South top. So,
of course, there's that prospect coming. I mean, it's a very different style, I could say, of a game, because you won't have come across any of the teams in bulk during the season. You've just got to work on what they've got around to see what the team structure is.
Yeah, well, the only time we played a team from down south was pre-season last year, and I think maybe the year before, but we won them games. So I know it's a different style of hockey down there. I don't think they're as aggressive, they're more skillful, but I think if we go into it thinking of being confident and thinking that we're going to get the win, I think it could come out our way, and that's what we want to do at the end of the day. We want to showcase Widnes as a team and show us that we are one of the best in the country in our league. So,
how do you feel that your season's gone as a player within the squad? Been looking good from our perspective anyway.
Yeah, I think I've been having a good year, feeling good out there. I've had a couple of poor games. D-side, the time we played in D-side was a bit of a down, but it's good to come back in the week after, train again and get back on top the week after. So I think I'm enjoying it, playing well.
Well, we'll catch you again before the end of the season, Albert. Well, wish you well. Have a nice, good week and take care.
Cheers, thanks, Colin.
I managed to get an extra view from the bench with assistant coach Mark Gillingham. Well, a lively game all in all, but the right side of the win.
Yeah, it's another big win for us. It's I think it's showing where we're at the start, compared to where we were at the start of the season, when we're coming out of a difficult loss against Telford. We put two really big performances on the back of that. So I think earlier in the season we might have collapsed a little bit after the Telford loss and made it difficult for ourselves after it. But I think it's shown the character that we're showing coming out of that, and we look like we're doing well towards the end of the season, and we should finish quite strongly.
I mean, this year's been remarkable. That's the only way I can say regarding the way the season's gone, I think.
Yeah, it's been massive. Having a 17-game win streak, it's not seen very often at any level of hockey. So, Telford last week was disappointing. We wanted to, carry that through right away to the end of the season, but it was probably going to end at some time. I'm glad we did it the way we did last week, where we still performed. It was a really tough game. It was a strong head-to-head game, and they had to play their best to beat us. We still outshot them nearly 2-1. They took their chances better than we did on the night, and that's how it was. But we didn't perform badly for our loss, and it wasn't as difficult to get back from it. So, I think the run that we went on has really set our stall out, and it's given us that bit of a cushion with a really tough run-in that we've got coming in the end of the season.
Well, yeah, we've got, I think it's the next two games is one way or the other is Sheffield and Telford again.
It is, yeah. Sheffield away next week. Next Sunday, lunchtime face-off, which is sometimes a little bit difficult, where you spend your season spending days preparing, and you get your preparation schedule, and then you get a lunchtime face-off, and it's difficult to get for. But we'll be ready. We're ready to go. But as well as those two games, we've got a really tough run in just in general. We've got Hull left to play, the other team who can win the title, it looks like, at the moment. And then our remaining games are against Altrincham and D-side, so they're all derby games. We've not got an easy game left in this season, so we're certainly not counting our chickens going into the end of the season. We know that every game's a cup final, and we're going to win this the hard way. It's going to be a difficult finish for us.
I mean, last year, of course, the playoffs were held here at Planet Ice Widnes, and again, it's going to be back here, and there's a prospect as well of a game down in Coventry.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for us coming home for playoffs again. I think tonight might have secured us a playoff spot, so hopefully we'll be heading into that in a decent seeding as well, so we'll have the advantage going in. But it's going to be a massive weekend again, and the support we had last year was absolutely fantastic, and it held us to that title. The game against Hull that we ended up with the comeback and the win in the shootout, we probably wouldn't have had that without our support. So the more we can get behind us this year, again at Widnes, would be absolutely fantastic. And again, if we get down to Coventry for that showdown against whoever wins South 2, which is probably going to be either Slough or Chelmsford, that's going to be another massive game, and it'll give us a chance to showcase ourselves in front of the fans from the league above if we get there, and I think we deserve to. I think it would be good for us to get that kind of showcase out there and show exactly what the Laidlaw Conference can do.
I mean, tonight was a really big crowd, both big showing from both sets of fans, and some extra travelling supporters come from Dundee tonight, which was nice.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, we also get a reputation all over the country for the kind of match night that we put on, and we're entertaining people, and it's really good that we've got a team that matches our match night experience now, and our team is performing the way that the club performs in general. So, I think it's a great experience at the moment coming to watch the Wild. So the more people we can draw in, the better. And if we get more crowds in like tonight, and to be fair, having D-side fans there, it made it even better, because sometimes it's a bit of a struggle when you've not got any away support. So there was a proper atmosphere tonight, and everybody raised the game for it. So the more like that we can get, the better.
Well, I wish you well for the rest of next weekend coming up. It's going to be a toughie, but we'll see how we'll catch up with people again, maybe even yourself.
Brilliant. Cheers, Colin. Thanks.
Well, there we go. Plenty to talk about in that game, and some interesting comments from our interviewees. But our guests are here. Andy Winchley and Pucker the Penguins spokesman and netminder for our very own YKK Widnes Wild, our very own Barry Spriggs. Hi, Baz.
Evening.
Sometimes a man of few words. I bet definitely knows a penguin of very few words, but he was making an impact last night.
Yeah. Out of retirement, you can't be off surprised then.
Oh, did I? Yeah, he was up to his usual mischief, wasn't he?
I think so. I was out the way.
It's just good to see him back. It's been a while since he's been messing around in the stands, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was definitely there, and the fans, I think, appreciated him.
I've seen a few comments.
But yeah, I mean, rough idea on attendance last night, sort of somewhere around about the 500 plus mark. So it was really good. And our 50-50 was something like 170 something?
130.
Was it that? I thought it was a bit more than that.
Now I heard Simon shouting about it.
Yeah, there was some eyebrows raised over the winner.
Yes, but it was independently chosen. I do promise you, we actually have a little barrel with all the tickets in, and they tumble them round, and I did pick it out one week, and I know who won. It wasn't me.
I've never seen him so made up. He come down for a photo and everything.
Oh, yeah. So, like I say, it's one of those ones where you've got to be in it to win it with the 50-50, and hats off to the people who've been selling the tickets and all the fans and supporters and members of the team as well who take part. It's definitely worthwhile you putting your pound in your pocket and giving it over to one of the sellers and having a go, isn't it?
Definitely. I won it 2 weeks on the run.
I've just never won it, so I'm all right.
And from what I gather, Simon also gave a serious bit to one of the mascots as well. Yeah, I think he gave him a few bob out of it. So, very nice on Simon to do that.
That's gone straight in Jeff's pocket then, is it?
I don't know. And of course, one of our former Wild One players, of course, Jeff Wigglesworth, playing for the Dragons last night, and his kids were out on the ice as ever, seeming to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, still charging round. You keep thinking they're going to get run over though when they're out there.
And they're getting better and better. They just, once they're out there, they seem to get this impetus, and seeing some of the messages he posted online saying how nice it was to be back at Widnes and have the kids on the ice as well. It was really, really good atmosphere last night.
I think that's it. With the atmosphere in there, I think it's one of them, if you leave, you do miss it.
Yeah, but last night was a quality noise, a quality atmosphere, and nice to see this everything as packed out as we could get.
It was a bit quiet in the first, start of the second, but
first period was a bit tetchy, really, a bit egg hockey-ish, just trying to get the measure of each other, I think. I don't know about you guys. It just seemed to take a while to get going after the initial impact of the game. I mean, okay, the first goal was in the first 2 minutes, but it was very gentle to start off with, and then it livened up more in the second.
From my eyes, it's pretty hard to see during them games.
Yeah, there's definitely the hit started going in that second, and crowd got on top of it as well. But we had the D-side players in the penalty box, some of the younger guys, and they couldn't believe the crowd in there last night.
Oh yeah, and so what sort of comments was it coming through, or the kind of general feel from them?
They just couldn't actually believe the atmosphere and how full it was, and the drums going, the noise going. Yeah. So I think that, especially in that first, that throws a lot of them.
It can do, yeah. I mean, we've noticed it when we've had a juniors game the other week or a women's game where people are actually making noise as well, and it makes a big difference. And last night didn't disappoint. I'd say definitely didn't disappoint at all.
It's like I said to you earlier, though. I think we've gotten that used to sort of a lot of winning games and not as many close games anymore. Having D-side back at home, I think everyone just got up for it last night.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to be a battle last night.
I think everyone was, yeah.
Everyone did. It was just...
I mean, he got quite feisty, particularly towards the end. Corey Stones and Lee Kemp had a little bit of a handbag session at one point.
Yeah, he carried it on in the penalty box with us. That was good fun. Jill calmed him down a little bit and threatened him.
With jelly babies?
Yeah, he did. He took another penalty pretty much straight after to come back and eat the rest of the sweets. So.
We'll mention it now. Talking point of the night. Goal or no goal? It was one of the most unusual things a lot of people don't see in an ice hockey match is when it looked like a goal, the goal light went on, play continued, and unusually for a situation like that, both teams did continue playing until the next whistle. Which often in Britain I've seen it where there's been a lot of gestation and everything's kicked off, but they did continue playing until the next whistle. And then it went to a sort of an on-ice review. And from what you saw of it, Andy, and
I didn't see anything of it. I just come out to the...
Were you even there last night? Were you?
Yeah.
I did see you at points, there, Barry, but yeah. But
I was actually in the changing room when all this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the penalty box and where Shutty was timing, I think we all said goal.
Yeah.
When we first seen it.
I mean, I was chatting with Jeff, our photographer, and I looked at it from my perspective with the camera, and I'm looking through a little screen and over the top of the camera at the same time, and I honestly thought it had gone in. I genuinely thought it was a goal, and it's a gutsy call to do that kind of late goal, but also to then have to work out all the timings, particularly seeing we had two people in the penalty box when the goal was scored, the light went on, and then having to work out roughly how long had gone on from the face-off to the light coming on and roll all the clocks back and get everybody back in the sin bin. I think the officials and Jill and the people in the bin did a really stellar job keeping everything calm and sorting it out.
I didn't even have to go back to the cameras to check anything. They just did it all off top of the head, and I think they pretty much got it bang on as well, didn't they?
Yeah. I was chatting with the officials during the second period break. I was just in general, and they were checking how long was left on the interval, and I'm to be down near the door to the dressing room, and we had a little chat about it, and they said they're not actually allowed at this level to use the video for a review. They could have potentially used the video for the clock, but when I've reviewed the video last night, I'd actually did a stopwatch timing from when the puck drops to when the light went on, and then looked at what they'd reset the clock to, and did a little bit of a back of the, little piece of scrap paper, and they got it within a second or two. Pretty much got all the timings bang on, and credit where credit's due. They all did a stellar job, and it was a very, very tough call to make, gutsy call to make. Now, I've reviewed it, and I didn't have time last night to get the video online, but the video, I've done an extra special edit on this within the highlight reel, so you can debate, listeners out there, to the fact of goal or no goal. Did the puck cross the line or not? The decision, I have my answer from the video, especially now that you can see it really close up and very slow. And chatting with Eurus Sisters last night, what he said to me about the movement of the puck and what he saw and what I see now when I look at the video, agree. But it's one of these ones where if it had been a National Hockey League game, it would have been not just to the local video, it would have been back to Toronto. It is so tight. It's hardly surprising the Elite League now have gone with cameras for video reviewing. It's so. I mean, for a big game like a playoff game, that can make the difference. That one goal, can't it?
Let's just get VAR in. Let's have it.
If we could afford a VAR system, we would have a VAR system. Believe me. But yeah, so when the highlights go up a little later on this evening, albeit once I get home from here, you will be able to decide for yourself goal or no goal when you can see the zoomed replays. And I've managed to slow it down quite a lot, and you can see the puck hit the mouth of the goal, it bounces up in the air, and then it lands. So the decision in the end, it's going to cause a lot of controversy, but it is a good discussion point. Was it a goal or wasn't it? In the end, I'm going to leave it out there to the listeners. I've got my decision. Some of you may have seen it go out on Twitter, courtesy of the club. But again, on the night, a call was made, and I agreed with that call. Andy?
I said it was a goal.
So, there we go. It's
in my defence, though, depending on which way that result goes, we don't always get to see a lot from that penalty box.
Yes.
Because we're normally arguing with someone or handing out sweets or arguing with Jill over timings. So
yeah. And there are times where, depending upon where you are, which particular position you're in the sin bin, you can have a pillar in your way or a person in the way. So, yeah. So, it was a very, very controversial moment in the game. But that's hockey, isn't it? Anything can happen.
That's just sport, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The blink of an eye.
Yeah, blink of an eye and the flick of a puck. On that, I think it's time for a little break. And I have a piece of music lined up. And if I push my fader the correct way and get ready with the correct button, I think Andy's going to like this one. Who am I going to play, Andy? Go on.
It's got to be C6 Steve.
And the song?
I've forgotten which one you've got lined up.
It's Summertime Boy. And before I play it, just, you've seen C6 Steve live, haven't you?
I've seen him a few times, yeah.
And what can you say about the guy?
Old American blues player, plays anything. Usually it's a number plate with some guitar strings strapped to it. And I've never heard anyone make so much noise with such little kit.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
So if you haven't heard any C6 Steve before, you're in for a treat. Here we go. Okay, time for your usual little reminders of all the ways to contact your YKK Widnes Wild. Don't forget, it's widneswild.co.uk on the website, or Facebook or twitter.com/WidnesWild. Instagram's a little different, instagram.com/WidnesWildOfficial. If you want to contact the show, of course, you can do so via radio@widneswild.co.uk. You can text 07716 672 874. And they come through at any time to the show, or you can use it while we're on air, or the alternative is the text number for the station, 60066. Start your message with HCR. If you're checking out the website, it has our information, all the information to do with everything to do with the Wild programs, including the community program, Learn to Play, Junior Academy, and sponsor information. And don't forget all our sponsors out there. Our headline sponsor, YKK. A certain Sprakes and Son of Widnes is there, I think, Barry, yeah, some connection with yourself, I wonder. DMH Tyres, Ruxton Electricals, CL Woodworking, Nails by Alicia, who are on our goals, and our charity, the Halton Haven Hospice. And we got a few fixtures coming up, Barry.
Yep, on Saturday the 9th of February, you've got Widnes under-13s v Grimsby under-13s, and that's at 6:50 face-off. Then on Sunday the 10th, we've Widnes Wild have got Sheffield Senators away, and that's at 12:45 face-off. On the same day, you've got Widnes Wild women playing Chelmsford Cobras at 5:30 face-off. That's at Widnes. Then Sunday the 17th of February, you've got us Widnes Wild v Telford Tigers D2 at 5:30 face-off, and that's at Widnes. Saturday the 23rd of February, we've got Altrincham Aces away, and that's at 7:30 face-off. Sunday the 24th of Feb, Widnes under-13 take on D-side, and that's at 4:20.
Yes, so plenty of fixtures to come over the month of February. Plenty of hockey still to play. Well, let's talk about what you've been up to with your activities, Andy. You've been up to quite a bit, haven't you?
We've been trying. So a lot of people just see us rock up on a Sunday and try and know what look like I'm doing. But there's quite a lot that we do with the club outside of it as well. So it all started with bringing Halton Haven in as the sort of charity partner for this season. So it's just to update everyone, actually just let them know what we have been doing. So there's been quite a few events where we've actually been fundraising for Haven. So we had a team do, myself included, Tough Mudder earlier in the late last year, which we'll be doing again this year for more punishment. Still not recovered. We had a team that was myself, Andrew Shutt and Stacey Bungay as well. We did the firewalk up at Halton Haven. So that was definitely something different.
That was. It did look a good event, that.
It was good. I'll be honest with you, it's worse standing on Lego.
Really?
It really was.
What about stickle bricks?
No, I mean, I'm posh me, mate. It's Lego, you know.
And one of the height of pain, knee on a Lego brick.
I mean, you can see why they used them in Home Alone. It's just evil.
Yeah.
So we've had a tombola, we've had some shirt raffles. On top of that, for a lot of events, we've managed to get some match funding done. I've managed to arrange that through my work at Barclays. So in terms of fundraising this year, we're actually at about just short 2,500.
Wow.
That we've donated to the Haven this year so far.
And of course, there was another bit you were involved with, and of course, your compadre Puckett the Penguin, with the helpful guide of Carl Bungay.
Who was guiding who there?
That was the Santa Dash.
I think he was meant to be guiding me. I think he ended up holding onto the back of my shirt for most of it.
But that must have been a challenge for you. Or for Pucker, right. I should say.
Hard to breathe.
Poor thing.
No airflow. But we done it.
And wasn't it the Lady Mayor she gave a nice little peck to?
I think it turned into more of a headbutt, didn't it?
It was one of those strange events where Pucker starts doing the warm-up in front of the whole crowd, and the first thing he does is bend over and split his pants. And he runs the course, goes for the medal. The mayoress took a shine to him, wanted to give him the medal, and he leans in for the medal and headbutted her.
Bless him.
So, there's them events that we do, which not there to raise money, but just to get Wild involved. And so we've done like the Santa Dash, as we said, where Rich Charles was there as well, Ken Armstrong.
Of course he was, and Kenny,
Yeah, Ken had a great day walking around eating mince pies.
Yeah.
The guys were up at the Butterfly Release, which is one of the Haven's big main events of the year, and Baz was at that along with Mikey and Lee Kemp as well. I think he took the nets up and stuff with some of the kids on that one.
Got pucks fired at me for an afternoon.
And then we do a lot which we don't even see. So we get a lot of requests for assistance. So it's mainly where people are fundraising. So it's local schools. We've had dance troupes, a couple of charities where we give away tickets to raffle off or auction off. So we've done quite a few of them this year. A really big one with a local football team, Mersey FC, just a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, they had someone who they're associated with, their little daughter passed away over Christmas, so they were doing a fundraiser for the family.
That's very sad.
So it's really sad, but it was nice that we could get involved and give them something, so they managed to raise quite a lot of money off that. And good. Then some people may have seen them or not, we have a lot of the Haven nurses come through in the week, come into the games, so we get them in to give them a night off, come and see the ice hockey for the first time, and see if we can obviously get them hooked on it.
Yeah, I was chatting to a couple of them that not on Sunday but the previous week.
Yeah, I've seen them backing away from you very slowly.
I don't bite, honest. But no, they seem to be really enjoying themselves, having a good night, and it is great to see them coming down to the games, but the amount of stuff that does go on that we don't see, it's really great to know exactly what's been going on with everything.
Because then you've also got the other bits with Mike Gilbert as well, and obviously he does a lot of work with schools and things like that as well, which a lot of people just never get to see.
Yeah, I mean, our juniors are really, really coming on leaps and bounds. You've heard the results at the top of the show, but those results don't generally reflect on the actual performance on the ice, because those kids are improving week in, week out. It's their first season as a team in each particular level, and they're just going out and having fun.
There's that many people involved with Widnes Wild. It's got a solid foundation, and that's why everything clicks the way it does. And there's the family. It's like a family, isn't it? Really.
well, chatting with Terry Gray last night about hockey basics and how many people they've got coming down to hockey basics, and as it ebbs and flows, but you're looking 20 to 40 people doing hockey basics, and they come and just, some of them just want to get on the ice and just play a little bit of hockey. They don't want to necessarily maybe be part of a team, but they just want to have fun. And you keep saying to me, when are you going to take part? And I was like, something else has got to give in my life before I start taking them hockey basics, basically.
I'm Bambi on ice. I could just about skate around, but I can't stop or turn around, so I'm not going on.
Well, I think Steve Burns seems to enjoy being in goal, but yeah,
I've done a bit of both. Bit of in, bit of out.
But it is a sport. I mean, many people come along, and once you get to grips with it, it's just great. I mean, sometimes if you want to get used to following the game, come and watch the juniors. It's a different pace of game, and because it's not technically a full checking game, there is contact, but it's not full-blown checking in the same way as watching a senior game or even going up to the Elite League. Elite League games are much faster than watching D1 and D2 hockey. But that's the whole thing. You can watch different levels throughout the area. It's so varied, and of course we've got rec stuff coming up in the coming months as well, haven't we?
Yeah, I think there's they don't do is it a Northern Conference now? Northern Cup.
I know the Huskies have got stuff coming up, but that'll be in April. But there'll be stuff with the Raiders.
To be over the summer, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, there's hockey all year round, and of course, if hockey doesn't take your fancy, you can always just go out and skate, figure skating or just leisure skating. There's so much to do, which gives me time, in terms of things to do, for this. Couple of little newsy items to remind everyone about. Of course, this week on Free Sports, on Thursday the 14th of February, we have Belfast Giants versus the Glasgow Clan in Challenge Cup action. That's live on Free Sports on this Thursday night. I think it's a 7 p.m. face-off possibly for that, or coverage will start at 7 p.m. So if you want a bit of live action this week of British hockey, take in that. And of course, the big events coming up in April, as we just mentioned. We've got the Final Four weekend down in Coventry, the 13th and 14th of April, where of course it will also include the D2 North versus D2 South League winners for the NIHL2 National Championship. Oh, who will it be from D2 North? Well, we'll talk about that in a sec. Who it could be and who it won't be. And we, of course, the weekend of the 20th and 21st of April, there is the NIHL D2 North and South playoffs. The South 2 playoff are taking place in Bracknell, and the D2 North playoff weekend is back at Planet Ice Widnes. Details, of course, are available through the EIHA website, eiha.co.uk. So plenty of that to come. Get ready get your tickets available for whatever playoffs. Of course, there's also Elite League playoffs being advertised, so check out eliteleague.co.uk if that is more your fancy. But there's still plenty of hockey, and we have the bus for Sheffield on for this coming Sunday. And because it's an early face-off of 12:45, we suspect the bus will be leaving sometime around 9 a.m. from Planet Ice Widnes. But keep an eye on all the Widnes Wild and Widnes Wild fans or social media outlets for that information. Gents, I think we need to have a little look at the EIHA table, because if the points on my screen are correct, the YKK Widnes Wild have actually qualified for the playoffs. Nobody can finish, we cannot finish lower than 4th in the league now with our points tally.
I think we kind of expected it, but it's nice to have one ticked off, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to get it sorted. So yeah, the effectively the YKK Widnes Wild are on 44 points, and that leaves 4 teams now that can score, that can now gain more than 44 or more points, because last night basically left Bradford Bulldogs with a maximum points tally available of 43. So yeah, 7 games remaining, 14 points available, 7 required to secure the title for the YKK Widnes Wild. It's not an easy run out either in the season, is it?
I mean, to be at this point, this far ahead, it's been an epic season.
Oh yeah, I mean, Barry, from the perspective of the dressing room, I mean, how does it feel to be? You've been part of the dressing room as part of your second season, really, and
it is mega. I mean, everyone works for each other. Everyone gives each other a pat on the back when they deserve it. They might pull someone to one side when they've done something, and as a whole, it is phenomenal. I mean, especially to walk back in the changing room and the door gets shut. All he does is walk round, and then the whole changing room's erupting. It's hard to describe, really. You'd have to be there, but.
I mean, this year, I've been getting some of the postmaster interviews in the outer chamber of the dressing room, but you can just tell the whole
it's a
feel.
Buzz. You can feel it like buzzing through your whole body. I mean, even if I wasn't there away at Telford, but each and every person that come back and they said it was a good game, and like everyone still give each other a pat on the back and. Let's get up and start
actually,
again.
If you're all looking out for each other, though, someone needs to look after Danny Fay, because, I mean, he's just such a brilliant player, but God, he gets bounced about in them games.
And now he's took his face grill off. He's gone half visor, and was Perch there last night?
I don't know.
So I thought someone said his parents might have been around.
Oh, yeah, sorry, his parents were there, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sorry we didn't catch up with you. It would have been nice to have sort of caught up with you just for a couple of words, maybe even just off microphone, but... it was nice having your people around, and it's good when family are able to come. Of course, Danny's mum plays for the Bracknell Firebees, so it's not. Of course, she's up at Widnes from time to time for the Fire and playing the Firebees. It's for me this year. It's such a remarkable way that the club have built from year one. I mean, first season we finished 5th, which was a fantastic way to start your first season as a club. Considering it was an unknown entity within the league, and we built from nothing, and the crowd stayed, and then we built and built and built to the point where now, last year everyone was like, oh, it's Widnes, but it was between Widnes and Sutton in the end, and this year it's really now effectively a 3-horse race for the title. Would you say, guys?
Don't count chickens, but for me it's 1 horse. That's it.
I mean, for me, Hull and Telford are still, are chomping at the bit. They're there, waiting in the wings for a slip up. But it's one game at a time, isn't it, Barry?
Yeah, exactly. You just got to take each and every game as it comes. Go out there, be focused, get the job done, come back in. It's one less.
I think watching the guys out on the ice, you can see a difference when watching the game. Rewinding a bit in my mind to when we were in Hull. And that non-too good game in Hull. Chatting to the guys in between just passing in the period breaks as we were moving around the rink, and they were like birds with sore heads. And they weren't happy with the performance. They weren't happy with the way things were going. It just wasn't clicking. And then next thing, okay, we played Hawks 2 the following night, which basically obliterated them 22-0. But whoever we were going to play, as we said on that, out in the post-match to that, it was going to be in the zone, and that was the start of the run.
Yeah,
everything just started to click, and the squad's mixed around a little bit, players of availability, and it's just all working. I mean, one guy who's missed basically the first half of the season is Danny Bracegirdle.
Yeah.
And did he look out of place?
He's straight back in, hasn't he, last 2-3 weeks?
Yeah. And, Dippy had to miss a fair portion of the start of the season. He's looking sharp. And it's just wonderful to see how the club has all fitted together. And it's going to be a tough run out. I mean, we've still got Telford and Sheffield to play. It's going to be a hard one. I mean, Andy just sent a message here saying about, Telford play Hull next week. They're effectively, one could knock the other out of the title race.
Yeah.
Depending upon that result.
But as well, it's been noticed by other teams with the way our guys are. 'Cause I think we had some guys in the penalty box from Coventry a few weeks ago, and they said they were just exhausted trying to keep pace. They said it was like playing a Morley team. They just didn't like being on there.
Yeah. We've lost a couple of players from last year. Notable playmaker of Nick Manning. I mean, how would you describe Nick Manning as a style of play there, Barry?
If it was an out player, Nick was always someone I admired to watch, because if he was up shooting on the goal, he'd always be the first forward back defending the puck coming the opposite way. He was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I mean, credit where credit's due. He's top lad.
There was that, and we lost Pav as well.
Yes, in defence, and they've been replaced by Dan Fay, manner of speaking, and Jakob.
Yeah.
And Hadji's speed. He tormented us when he was at Altrincham because he was so quick.
Novak's not slow though.
And neither's Mikhail. Mikhail Novak, he was on fire last night. And of course, the points tally from last night's game was actually, the damage was done by the Novak, Bullock and Dipnell line.
Bullock's got wheels as well, like Bullock moves.
He's got a shot and a half, be it slap shot or even a wrist shot.
Tell my head about it.
Thing is with Dan though, once he starts, there's no stopping him, is there?
That's
why
he
bounces off the wall.
When he winds up, just close your eyes.
It's why my nickname for him is the Bulldozer.
Yeah.
Because he goes that quick.
He'll run you over and keep on going. He will. And it's clean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember the guy's name from Solihull. Found that out in a pre-season game. That was one heck of a hit, and it is a legendary hit, that, within the league. And
you tell Danny that he had to go and play him again the next day.
The poor guy didn't know what had happened. Neither did Danny, I think. Well, actually, Andy Shutt sent us a question about the goal where the clock was rewound, and was wondering, why did we rewind the clock? Why didn't we just give the goal and play on from that point? And if I'm not mistaken, it is actually a rule that if a goal is rewarded in that way, you have to rewind the clock to exactly where it was before. Because that's what the thing. I'm pretty sure they do that in the National Hockey League, don't they? If a goal goes for review after a bit of extra play, they will rewind the clock.
But it's because the whole nature of the game's changed at that point, isn't it? All of a sudden they're another goal down, they've got a bigger gap, heads drop. So I think they have to take it back to...
I mean, in this case as well, the fact that the goal was scored 4-on-4, so you have to go back to the face-off being 4-on-4 as well. So how the structure of the game is being run from that point, the number of players on the ice, it can change it.
Because didn't someone say, Mike was due a penalty Mauer, wasn't he? And that got wiped with it when it got pulled back.
So there was a penalty about to be called.
I think so, yeah.
So it's rewound the penalty.
Yeah.
So the delay penalty doesn't go on the sheets because effectively time is rewound.
Yeah.
Well, it's a funny old game, is hockey. It really is. It has some interesting little quirks. In fact, there's one video, and I think it's on the Time to Go Wild Facebook page if you want to look at it. And it's an international game. A player is on a breakaway, heading for goal. Player hooks him from behind. He goes down. Arms up by the ref. He gets up, continues going, gets hooked again from behind and goes down. And they gave 2 penalty shots. And it is a ruling they can do.
Because it's technically 2 separate incidents.
Yeah. Occasionally I've seen it happen where 2 penalties, where player one's, say, for sake of argument, Bez has given someone an elbow. He's called Bez for an elbow. And then, I don't know, Mike Moore's checked somebody because it's a big scuffle in front of the crease or something. He can call both of them, even though the hand went up for the first penalty, if the ref deems them serious enough. So yeah, it's a strange state of affairs, that one. Oh, and hello to Andy and Barry from Andy Shutt. Phone's going berserk here with messages coming up
with him every Sunday. But yeah, good evening, mate.
Oh dear. But Yes, just catching up on a message here. I see. Yes, it's just Andy asking questions about the Andy Shutt that is asking questions about the penalty call. It is. I mean, again, it was really great to see such calm heads amongst everybody in the Simbin. Announcers, Simbin staff, players. It made a pleasant surprise. Because it can get very, very heated in situations like that, can't it?
I was surprised at Kempy, to be honest. If he wanted to, he could have gone.
Ah, yes.
He was after him.
Well, the size of them lads,
him the whole game.
Yeah.
If it's going to go even in that penalty box, we're not getting in the way.
Yes. When Corey Stones and Lee Kemp had a little bit of a...
He was just giggling, Kempy, weren't he?
A disagreement, yeah. It was very funny to watch. It was one of those games that, in a way, disappointed because we didn't have a scrap, but on the other hand, it was good because it was feisty without needing a scrap.
There's some big hits getting thrown round, you could hear him.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I said, most of them against Danny Fay.
Yeah.
And he just keeps getting up.
He is...
You see the look of disbelief in his eyes when he stands up, you think he's hurt, and then he starts skating again. No, he's not, he's alright.
At one point he went head first into the boards.
Behind the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like,
that.
that hurt. And all of a sudden he's up again, shake of the head, and he's away.
He's just amazing. I mean, mind you, I say anyway, anyone who plays ice hockey is just fantastic. The amount of fitness you need to play that sport is just phenomenal. Be it goal or out.
I know, I'm missing a gym session being here tonight.
Oh. You're just a fine athlete, Baz, that's what it is.
Body is a temple.
Was it Mackey's you went on the way here, was it?
Yeah. Three hamburgers and 9 nuggets on the way here.
Quality food. There you go, food of champions. Anyway, well, we're about out of time, so we're going to squeeze a quick song from the Cars in to see us out of just what I needed, because hockey at the weekend was just what we all needed. Plenty of hockey to come this coming weekend, isn't there, gents?
It's a quiet one, isn't it?
Well, ish. We've got an under-13s and a women's game at home, so there's still plenty of hockey as well as away in Sheffield. So
everyone got on that bus to Sheffield.
yeah. And if not, come and watch the women on Sunday. It'll be a good game, that, against Chelmsford. Well, ran out of time as usual. Thank you guys for coming in.
No problem.
I'm going to go home and get changed now because I'm far too overdressed.
It's good to hear about all the charity goings on. Good to hear the bit of extra insight from the bench and the team as well, and yourself.
Yeah.
I shall now say wish you all well, listener, for the rest of the week. Enjoy your hockey at the weekend and wherever you are. Look after yourselves. Take care. Keep warm. Keep dry. From Time to Go Wild Radio, I'm Colt. Till next week, ta-ra.